Hey everyone, it's Laura here from makingcardsissun.com and welcome to another card making video. Today's video is part of a blog hop hosted by Simon Hurley from Inklipse.com in honor of 1,000 YouTube subscribers. There are a lot of fun guests joining this blog hop, as you can see on the graphic, and there are also some really fun giveaways offered by various sponsors and companies. You can visit my blog post for the details on these giveaways, but the only thing that you have to do is you just have to leave comments on all of the blog posts from the guests. I have a full list of guests on my blog, so be sure to check that out. So in today's video, I am using a Hero Arts stamp set along with some Ellen Hudson goodies to create a Christmas shaker card. I'm using the Santa's Elves stamp set from Hero Arts, and I'm going to stamp one of the elves onto some white Bristol paper using archival jet black ink. I'm going to be doing some coloring using the Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers, so that's why I'm using Bristol paper. I also like to use Canson watercolor paper for coloring with these markers. So I started out by applying some of the flesh color to that image, and I blended that color with a Pentel aquash brush, and then I added some blush to the cheeks using the color Pink Flamingo, and then I blended that out using the aquash brush again, and I went back in with that flesh color to add some more shading to the face. For the hair, I am using the dark brown color, and I'm blending that out using the Pentel aquash brush. If you don't have a Pentel aquash brush, then you could go ahead and just use a regular watercolor brush, but you would have to use like a really fine one because you want to make sure that you're not going to mess up your image. Then for the cap, I am using the light green marker first, and I'm adding that to the edge of that image. And then I'm going in with the green shadow color, and I am kind of pulling that darker green into the center of the image by using that green shadow marker. And then I'm just blending that together using the Pentel aquash brush again. This technique that I'm doing is really easy, and it's kind of inspired by the technique that I use for my Copic coloring, except this is like watercoloring, so I am using a watercolor brush, but I mainly use either one color or two colors. I don't have a lot of these markers yet. I'm still building my collection and seeing if I would use them enough to buy a whole lot of them. But for now, one color or two colors really work. So I did the same for the rest of the outfit of that elf. So I used the dark color, then the light green color, and then I blended that together. And then I also like to go back in with that dark green color to add a little bit more of shading and a little bit more interest to that card, or to that image, I mean. Then for the red details, I am using the Carmine Red color. I am just adding that to my image, and then I wiped off my Pentel aquash brush using a baby wipe, and I'm just blending that with the Pentel aquash brush again. For the shoes, I'm also using two colors. First, I'm using the dark gray color. I'm adding that to those shoes. I'm using the lines of that image as a guide, and then I am pulling that dark gray color to the center of that image using the light gray marker, and then I blended that with the Pentel aquash brush. I'm using the coordinating die of the Santa's Elves stamp sets to die cut that elf. And then I'm using the Noel cutaways from Winnie and Walter to die cut my card panel and a little tag. I'm going to be creating another sequin shaker using the fuse tool today, and I just wanted to show you this mat and holster that I got from We Are Memory Keepers. It's made to use with the fuse, so you don't have to use cardboard to protect your work surface. And it also comes with this holster that you can use to put your fuse tool in while it's warming up, or while it's like really hot and when you don't want to burn your work surface. I also got these 12 by 12 sheets from the fuse, and I cut one sheet a little bit smaller, and then I'm just putting those on top of each other so I can start creating my pocket. As always, I am using the ruler and the fuse tool to create my sequin shaker. I'm putting quite a lot of pressure on that tool and I'm going quite slowly. Then I left the top flap open so I can fill up my sequin shaker. I created my own sequin mix using some sequins and beads from the ton, so I used that to fill up my shaker. And then I'm going to grab that die cut piece over there so I can figure out where I have to create that final fused line. So I'm just going to close that little sequin shaker, and then I'm going to figure out which sentiments I'm going to use for this card. I am using the Cozy Christmas stamp set by Essentials by Ellen, and I'm going to heat emboss one of those greetings. I stamped that greeting using Versamark ink, and then I'm going to sprinkle on some embossing powder from Wow on there. This is a Sensational Sage embossing powder. I will be using the same embossing powder in an upcoming video that will be up on Monday. And then I'm adding some adhesive to the back of that paper so I can adhere my little sequin shaker. So I'm just lining that up, and then I can figure out where I have to adhere that piece. So I'm just finishing off my card here. I am adhering the elf to the card using some foam adhesive, using some foam squares for that. And then I decided to stamp some black stars using the same Cozy Christmas stamp set along with Memento Tuxedo black ink. I decided to stamp some stars instead of adhering some sequins. So I'm just stamping some stars here and there. You could totally skip this step if you're in a hurry or if you want to create like a quick card. And then I'm mounting that piece onto a note card from Hero Arts using some foam adhesive. I really love that color. And then finally I am adding a little bit of glossy accents to the cap of that elf. And I'm also going to adhere some gems and little pearls here and there. This is like my new obsession. I'm like a huge fan of sequins, but I have a stash of little pearls and gems that I really rediscovered, so I'm just finally using them right now. So that finishes up my card for the Inklipse 1000 YouTube subscribers block hop. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back on Monday. Bye bye!